Good afternoon. My name is Hae-sun Kim, advisor of Gangnam Labor Law Firm. Today with Labor Attorney Jung Bong-soo, we will discuss about the Labor Standards Act, Article 50, which is the working hours. So I think it's very important to understand well about this working hours. So could you define the terminology, please?
Hello, how are you today? This is Bong-soo Jung, Korean labor attorney. Today I'd like to explain about working hours stipulated in the Labor Standards Act. So Article 50, it describes the working hours. So the paragraph 1 stipulates that the working hours per week cannot exceed 40 hours, excluding recess period. Also, working hours per day cannot exceed 8 hours, excluding recess period. Also, paragraph 30 explains those people waiting for work is regarded as working hours. So that means this article 50 describe like weekly working hours or daily working hours. We call it legal standard working hours. Also, paragraph 30 explain what is some working hours like. So when it comes to the calculate wage, we have to consider whether it belong to working hours or recess or just non-working hours. So how we describe whether it is working hours or not, it consider 3 items. The first one is those hours stipulated by the employment contract or rules of employment, like companies working hours is 40 hours per week, 8 hours per day. So these are the working hours. Also, it describe like working hours start 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So these are some working hours. So so those people waiting for work also regarded as working hours. So so when we deal with some overtime, means those people who work more than legal standard working hours or contractual working hours, the overtime rate or overtime pay should be added.
I see. So sometimes it can be difficult for like employer, he orders something to the employee, and then employee can fill the work. But sometimes when they do give some order for the work verbally, and the employer forget about this, then the employee, even he did the work, may not get paid. So I think it's very important. So do you think there's some confusing cases and some clarification?
So to make sure whether it belongs to working hours or not, the first item is it must be stipulated by their regulation, or also those hours that requested or ordered by the employer. Also, some certain work required to do overtime, like accounting team, they to conclude some monthly ending the adjustment of their the cost or kind of accounting. Then they usually do overtime. So those hours regarded as working hours, because job required more time to deal with after their the contractual working hours. So some certain cases regarding this one, I like to show with you one case that we supported. One embassy staff, especially who worked at accounting team. So the employee had a 1-year contract. So after 1 year, her contract was expired and her employment was finished. So in this case, the employee thought she would renew her contract. Her contract would be renewed, and she thought she could work continuously, but her employment was terminated. So she take some legal action. So actually she worked a lot longer than required working hours. So her salary was yearly about 36 million won. So each month she received 3 million won, but she claimed she had done a lot of overtime, so she claimed 30 million won additional pay for overtime. So she submitted all the data related to her overtime. So, but in this case, company explained those hours is not mandatory. It was her voluntary decision to stay and work. So it is hard to consider those hours as working hours. So labor inspector reviewed her job and her work. So labor inspector suggested those period required for overtime. So those overtime work regarded as overtime. But normal days there are no necessary to overtime, so labor inspector excluded those the extra overtime. So the labor inspector suggested about 12 million won for some adjusted amount for overtime. Then in that case, embassy accepted. So this case was resolved peacefully. But here, what we knew is those hours required to do overtime without employee's direction still is regarded as overtime. Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. It's a good example.
Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.